Okay, everybody, hopefully this is working. This is just a real quick kind of test video. We're going to try out on the new computer here. Um, my name's Wade. Hopefully y'all get to know me very soon. Basically, what we're looking to do here is start a little bit of a fan channel, I guess, so to speak, on YouTube, where we can basically throw videos up, thoughts, compliments, complaints, whatever, just around general in the NFL and what your favorite team may or may not be doing right or wrong. So obviously starting off, I'm a Dolphins fan. If you can't tell by the colors on the hat, there it is, the old school logo. So my first kind of little mini rant, which is going to be one of many, assuming the season continues like last year, is Miami Dolphins front office. More specifically, the fans' interaction with the front office. It, a lot of people complain about Stephen Ross. You say what you want about Ross. He's new to it. He's still learning. He's not Al Davis. He hasn't been in this for 60-something years. Cut the guy a little bit of slack. That being said, I 115% agree with the move to keep Jeff Ireland. I know a lot of fans are really pissed off about it. Listen, anybody that's actually followed the sport and been involved with when Ireland and the whole Parcells regime took over, it was an asinine amount of changes going on. I'm pretty sure over 75% of the roster or something like that was new that year. Guys that they brought in. If you looked at it, guys that they've brought in through free agency and more importantly through the draft have pretty much all been solid contributors. Their draft record is impeccable, with the exception of Pat White, who they even admitted shortly after that. That was a case where just pure athleticism kind of outweighed their decision. They went against the normal principles. Ireland is hit with the moves he brought in. I mean, look at Reggie Bush, just an example. When they brought Reggie Bush in last year, nobody thought he could do what he did in Miami. And everybody said he's a role player, kick returner, third down back. No, he between the tackles, he broke 1,000 yards last year. Nobody thought it could be done. They had the foresight. Carlos Dansby, huge deal. When they brought Marshall and Dansby in that same year, they were asking him on the field, what do you think about the new big play guy you brought over? And they thought they were talking about Dansby, and he's been nothing but a stud. The whole getting rid of Channing Crowder and bringing in Kevin Burnett thing because of the pass coverage, again, proved to be just a smart decision that a lot of fans disagreed with. Anyway, that being said, so Ireland has done a good job overall. I know a lot of people are upset about the whole we didn't bring in a quarterback. Well, who'd you guys want? I mean, honestly, Manning is, even if he is 100% healthy, which still remains to be seen. If all the reports in the world aren't actually him taking 30, 40, 50 snaps a game. He's old. He would have eaten up a chunk of the salary crap, which, yes, I know, with Marshall going, we have a little bit of salary room, but do you really want to pay that guy that much money to a stopgap? Somebody who's going to be here for possibly 4 years, if that, assuming he's healthy, which he may not even be. As far as the Matt Flynn situation, listen, Flynn is unproven as anybody else. All you have to do is look at Kevin Cobb. I think if anybody was in a position to know, what Flynn's about, it would have been Joe Philbin. The fact that they did not bring him in speaks volumes. Alex Smith would have been a viable option, but at that point, why are you going to pay somebody that much money who may get beat up by Matt Moore? I mean, dude, Matt Moore did a great job last year. I think he was ranked like 15th at a quarterback. So I don't understand why all the ragging is going down on Matt Moore. Like, the man definitely outperformed everybody's standards. No, he's not a big name. No, Matt Moore being your quarterback isn't going to sell tickets, but us true fans aren't worried about that. We're going to the games or watching the games on TV anyway. The man performed on the field, point blank. He performed on the field. Half the teams in the league last year did not have a quarterback on their entire roster as good as Matt Moore was last year. Period. So, with that being said, Tebow is a joke. Anybody that's actually respecting Tebow as a quarterback, you shouldn't be on an NFL blog, man. Point blank, period. The fact that he's sitting behind Mark Sanchez should tell you something right there, because Sanchez might be the worst starting QB that doesn't seem to be in a fear of job security for some reason. I'll never understand why. All this being said, my issues with the Marshall trade that everyone else is complaining about, Look, I'm a Brandon Marshall fan even before he came to Miami, so my opinion might be kind of slighted a little bit. I think he was worth more than we got for him. But if there was all these issues going on, like these reports are coming out now that he's demanding a trade, whatever, let him go. Yeah, it sucks that we didn't pick up another receiver to replace him, but again, Ireland has been hitting consistently with the draft picks. I'm sure we'll find somebody. Not to mention, Devon Best and Brian Hartline are pretty good receivers. Everyone seems to overlook them. I mean, Hartline last year looked like an acrobat every time he touched the ball, and same thing with Best. I mean, no, they're not number one, top 10 in the league receivers, but I'm fine with them two guys, and someone else coming in to challenge for that extra job. Don't forget we have Clyde Gates, who didn't make the great transition last year, but he still has the speed. From what I'm hearing, he's been improving. And, of course, now receiver's a position of need. So we are going to go after a receiver. I have no question about that. We are going to go after a receiver. Now, the draft that's coming up next month. For the love of God, we need a right tackle. We need one. There's no question about it. If we're looking at anyone other than right tackle in the first round, they better have a serious plan for trading for a right tackle or something like that. We need it. There's no question about it. It's by far the biggest position need. By far. Nothing else even holds a candle. That has to get done. Hopefully Riley Reef, I apologize if I'm saying his name wrong, hopefully he'll be there when we pick and we select him. I know there's been a lot of talk about us looking at a defensive end. God, I hope not. I don't have a problem bringing another defensive end, but not the 8th pick of the draft. Absolutely not. Or 7th, I'm sorry. No, 8th, we're 8th. Riley Ruff, it needs to be the pick. If we don't think he's going to be there, we need to package some kind of deal. I know Tannehill has been getting a lot of hype, and they're putting Tannehill up higher. Now, you got to remember, a couple weeks ago, this guy was looked at as a 25th, 21st pick. No need to go at 7. If we're going to do something like that, you know what? Cool, trade down. Pick up a right tackle, or at least like another second or a first or something somewhere in there where we can get the right tackle we need. If we get the right tackle we need, we can start next year as a solid team and we can progress. You got to remember, the Bills just added Mario Williams on top of an already impressive defensive line. One of the things the Jets do great is rush the passer. And for all the talk about how bad the Patriots' D was last year, I don't know if anybody watched the playoffs, they stepped it up in pass rushing. They did. They might have holes, but they stepped it up in pass rushing. It's one thing Belichick's always been good at. This being said, guys, to the entire Miami Dolphin Nation fan base, whatever you want to call yourselves, please cut the guys some slack. Can we stop the open Dolphin bashing? It seems like all Dolphins fans will do right now is bitch, 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 bitch. Look, it could be worse. Could be the Chiefs. Could be the Seahawks. Our record might not have been the best last year. Just as well as I did. We lost a ton of games based on some was raw luck, some was one bad play. The Thanksgiving game, Jesus Christ, I don't know. God must have been. Forget Tebow. God was with Tony Romo that day. I don't know how you can be being sacked half an inch from the ground, lob a ball up that goes for 30 yards like 6 times in a row like that. That was, you can't defend stuff like that. We've had a lot of bad luck, and a lot of people can say, yeah, well, if we were a better team, we wouldn't be in a position to lose by bad luck. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. They play Miami, guys. They didn't have an off-season last year. There was no conditioning. These guys play in the sweltering Miami heat with no conditioning training off-season. All I'm saying is that's hard. Whatever, the past is the past. First rule of gambling is you don't count the money you already lost. It's a new season. We're moving in the right direction. Please, can we stop the open Ireland Ross bashing and the flat-out begging for a quarterback? It's embarrassing, guys. Do it for me. All right? See all you guys. Hopefully we're going to do a couple of these in the next few weeks. But definitely draft day. Everyone cross your fingers. They're going to be unveiling the new Nike jersey. So let's hope the first guy we draft wearing the new Nike jersey is Riley Reef, as far as I'm concerned.